Alright guys, welcome to the Nerd Perspective Consortium. My name is Travis, aka Arlamon. Today we're going to be reviewing Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, the special look trailer that came out of D23. And for those of you living under a rock, D23 is the Disney official fan club. They hold their convention every year, and I believe this came out on Saturday of the convention, and they released it to everybody else yesterday, I believe, Monday or Tuesday. So let's get into it. Let's take a look. I'm going to stop it about halfway through, and we're going to talk about a few things, and then we'll play the last half and see what we come up with. Stormtroopers miss everything they shoot at. Boba Fett, okay.
We've passed on all we know. A thousand generations live in you now. This is your fight.
Okay. Woo! Okay, full disclosure, anybody that's seen my other videos, I believe Disney has ruined the franchise, alright? We're not gonna call out any names or anything, but they put the wrong people in charge. They put people in charge who didn't understand the genre, and really kind of ruined what could have been continue to be this great thing. So anyway, so that's my full disclosure. But I'm kind of excited about what I'm seeing in this trailer. So I love the voiceover view with Luke, saying that we've passed on everything we know, 1,000 generations now live within you, right? To me, he is clearly talking to Kylo Ren, and Rey here, right? Because Kylo Ren was a student before he switched to the dark side, and Rey was a student, and he's just throwing it out there. Like, everything we know now lives in with you both. Like, he shared the knowledge with both. And throughout that whole first thing, they have these iconic scenes. I love the fact they start off with Tatooine. If you watch the other videos, you know, is this Jakku desert planet they're on? Is it Tatooine? I'm now leaning towards a solid Tatooine. Open the sequence with how Star Wars really opened. Luke Skywalker looking towards the stars. He knew his destiny was more than being a moisture farmer. But then they mix in teacher, student, you know, Ben and Darth Vader, you know, Kylo, Darth Vader. You know, so I think they're foreshadowing this is going to be the epic duel where we had Luke and Darth Vader, you know, throughout the first three. This is certainly going to end with Kylo and Rey in this. Very, very excited. They had the foreshadowing of the hands. In the little box here you see Carrie Fisher and Ben, but they have Kylo reaching out for Rey. You know, Ben and Han Solo and his son. You know, there was one where Carrie Fisher's holding Rey's hand. So a lot going on where we started, where we ended up. Anakin, you know, student master. Darth Maul. There he is, right? We got Boba Fett. That is why now I'm leaning towards Tatooine, because as we get into the news footage, what you see here, desert planet, the iconic crew, you see the the Millennium Falcon off to the right, kind of hidden behind the rock. This tells me we're going on this epic adventure again, like the first one. So you got the good guys running to something, trying to find something, but the bad guys are hot on their heels. So I think we're going to see the First Order is on the move, and the rebels are now trying to stay one step ahead of them, and ultimately try to defeat what they're trying to do. So let's go ahead and I'm going to play the second one. I may stop this a little bit more since this is all new footage, and we'll see what we can find in it. Okay, I'm going to stop it right there and go back just a little bit. Okay, so here's where I'm leaning towards Tatooine, right? So in the footage from the earlier movies, they foreshadowed Boba Fett, and Boba Fett had one of the worst deaths in cinematic history. I mean, the guy fell in a hole and got eaten by the worm, and he is supposed to be this really cool bounty hunter, you know, at the top of his game, and it was completely ridiculous, but not as ridiculous as the way Darth Maul died, but those are different videos. So Desert Planet, we're here, some kind of celebration going on, some kind of pyrotechnics and smoke or whatever it is, fireworks, or I don't see fireworks, it's more smoke than anything, I guess. Kites, I think, looks like kites all over the background. And anybody who read the books in the Aftermath series, this to me screams Freetown, right? And in that series, Cobb Vanth was a law marshal or something, and he takes over Mos Pelgo, and he changes it to Freetown, right? And he kind of appoints himself mayor, but in the process, he bought Boba Fett's armor from the Jawas, I think. So I kind of think that's where they're heading. The 2 moons of Tatooine in the beginning, I think they're foreshadowing that we're going to end this great adventure where we started, and I think that place is Tatooine. Carrie Fisher. A little bit slow on the take right there. I read an article about Carrie Fisher. All the footage supposedly in this movie is of Carrie Fisher that they did not use in other movies, so it's not supposed to be any CGI. This is supposed to be kind of like their tribute send-off to her. So, you know, they used like green screen effects and stuff on her, and they can put her anywhere she want. But this is all supposed to be live Carrie Fisher with like B-roll footage that didn't make the other movie, so that's kind of cool. Again, here's some... I'm slow on my pause. Oh, so we'll go here. Original Star Wars open. The Imperial ship chasing the Rebel ship. Leia's on it, feeding her data into R2-D2, and we see it front and center here. It looks like they're jumping out of hyperspace into a planet's atmosphere, which we've seen Han Solo do. So it looks like the Rebels are learning as they go, and that becomes a tactic in their fight. A lot of ships, man. Wow. Okay, so I'm not sure what's going on with CP3O's eyes. I got to give that some thought. Anybody who saw my last trailer on the original trailer, I think that opening thing of Rey jumping over Kylo's ship, I think that's a dream sequence. And I'm thinking, and we'll get back to it, but I think that's what's going on with CP3O's eyes. I think that might be part of a larger dream sequence within the movie. But here, she's obviously training. You see the training droid up here that she's aiming at. I think they're just trying to show that how her powers are exponentially growing faster than probably any other Jedi, including Luke. So I think that's cool.
Your journey.
Okay, we've seen this one kind of before, and we've seen it in some artwork when they first started talking about the release of the movie. We're assuming that's a part of the Death Star. We see wreckages off in the distance. We see like one of those turbo cannon turret appears to be here. But it's very cool with the waves crashing, in the water. You definitely get the feel throughout this whole thing, again, that it's this teacher-student bringing down to the epic. Here's the last two, the most powerful people in the universe, and it's all coming down to them.
Yes, it's him.
Okay, so I think it's very cool where the first half, the voiceover was Luke Skywalker talking about passing his knowledge on, and then in the newer footage you have Emperor Palpatine, and he's the one passing his knowledge on. And again, I get the sense he's talking to them both, like, because the Force, as you see through this whole thing, is fluid. You could, good and light, which all builds up to like the Gray Jedi. Again, that's a whole different setup, whole different video, but I think that's where they're going. Is you just see this weave through the whole thing, how everything's always shifting. But I think it's a very cool tie-in. So I'm getting a good feeling. I'm actually pleasantly surprised. Okay, we get in this very last scene with Darth Ray. That is one of the coolest things I've seen in a while. Seriously. I didn't go far enough back. Yeah. Look. One more time. Okay. Okay, so I wish I could kind of frame by frame it right here so I could get it just perfect where I want it to be, but I'm not sure it's going to let me do it. Okay, this is pretty good, right where she's opening it up, right? I'm going to tell everybody right now, just relax, all right? Relax. Rey is not going to the dark side, all right? This ties into the whole dream sequence. I think what's going on is because you just heard Palpatine's voice, and at the end of Palpatine's voice, you hear Darth Vader's breathing, right? So they're completely foreshadowing what this scene is all about, right? This is a dream sequence similar to what Luke went through on Dagobah when he was training with Yoda, and he went down in the hole and he saw the vision of his father. Well, Darth Vader didn't know he was his father at the time. I think this is what's going on here. I think the dark side, probably Palpatine, they're going to bring him back as like a ghost spirit, something, if you read the books, he was cloning himself so he could live forever, and there's a lot going on in the books. He alludes to it in the last movie about being able to create life. So I think, I get the feeling Palpatine is showing her a vision of what she could be if she chose to join the dark side and become a Sith. And this is why we have Darth Ray, which would tie into C-3PO's eyes. If he's showing her a vision of her, it could be an expanded universe, like even your friends would come along with you, and to show the distinction between regular CP3O and the dark vision would be the red eyes to distinguish the two. But I get the feeling that's what's going on, is they're trying to tempt her like they did with Luke and bring her to the dark side. I think she's going to reject it, but that is so cool. All right, again, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Please like, share, and subscribe to us. Ring the bell if you want to know as soon as there's new content out. I hope this is as good as it looks, and that I'm not disappointed like in the last few Disney has put out, but we'll see. But until next time, let your nerd flags fly, and I will see you in the theaters.